My name is Tori France, and I am interviewing Mrs. Sherri France on March 30th, 2017. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and agreeing to speak with me today.
You're welcome.
How are you connected with the local community?
Well, I've lived in this area all my life. I grew up in a surrounding area outside of Cooperstown, but we'd come into Cooperstown on a regular basis. We'd come do our shopping. We'd come and hang out with family and friends at Otsego Lake.
All right. Do you have any experiences that involve Otsego Lake?
Yes. My aunt and uncle had a summer camp on the lake, and we'd go there to visit. They'd invite us all to spend some time there during the summer. It was a lot of fun.
All right. What is your most favorite memory of your life in this community?
I would just say that the small community, family-oriented kind of feeling, just feeling like you're a part of it, feeling comfortable, feeling safe.
Good. I know you were a farmer when you were younger, but can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm outside of Cooperstown area. It's in Middlefield, and my dad is still farming today, and we had a lot of fun being outdoors, but we had to do a lot of chores and helping the family to get on the farm because that's what was important. So it was a good growing up. I mean, there's a lot of freedom, a lot of things you can do outside, and it was really nice.
All right, great information. How did your earlier experiences help you live in Cooperstown today?
Well, again, I mentioned family, and my family lives here, still lives here, and we enjoyed being here. And I'll tell you, when you leave here, it's nice to come back because you remember the good, safe feeling that you had growing up, and you want your kids to be able to experience those same things.
Great. I know you're a teacher, but can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, teaching is wonderful. I didn't always start out to be a teacher. I originally started off working at Bassett Hospital after I got my degree in business administration. And again, came back this way because I wanted to live next to my family, or close to my family. And then when my dad was the one who inspired me to go be a teacher and said that you have a gift. You know, I worked with people who were older than I was, and I was always trying to make them better, make them pursue their careers. So I wanted to do that with children. I said because those are the ones that maybe would appreciate that a little bit more. So. All
right. What inspired you to become a teacher?
Well, again, I told you that my dad inspired me. He said that I had a gift for wanting to help people out. I was very giving and helpful, and that's exactly how I feel when I teach. It's that I'm helping students reach their goals.
Great. Do you have any other interests besides your job?
Oh, I love to coach. I've coached soccer camp at Clark Sports Center for probably 20-some years. I've since started coaching girls modified basketball here at Cooperstown Central. So I do like sports. I just like to be outside. We like to hike and camp as our own family. And I think it's important to realize what you have that's right outside your back door.
Great. Where did you go to school?
Well, I started off in high school. I went to Cherry Valley and graduated from there, and then I went on to a 2-year college. I went to Morrisville for business, and then transferred on to what's now known as SUNY Poly up in Utica, and continued my business degree. And then once I went to work at Bassett and decided I wanted to be a teacher, I went down to Indiana State and finished up my education courses so I could become a teacher.
Great. Did you have a good education?
Oh yes, I did. I had a lot of support from family. You know, my parents really pushed us to do well. You know, and we had those high expectations, which I think I fulfilled, and it's only made me a good person now.
All right. What did you personally love to do on Otsego Lake?
Oh boy, well, the camping was absolutely fun. My aunt and uncle had like I said before, had a small camp. We'd have the canoe, we'd go swimming. You know, they had a raft that we'd swim out to. There's a lot of fun things to do on Otsego Lake.
Great information. Do you have any memories from camping on Otsego Lake?
Yeah, the memories that I have most is that we would sit around the campfire at night and roast marshmallows. You know, look at the stars, look at the reflections on the lake, you know, look across the lake to see what we could see. They're located on the Route 80 side, so you'd look across and you'd see Kingfisher Tower at times, you know, or just seeing the lights from the boats that are out there, or a lot of times seeing if somebody was experiencing some sailing. That was always a neat experience.
That's great information. I never knew that. What activities did you do when you camped on Otsego Lake?
Some of the activities that we did, well, because the hill was behind us, we would go up and we would go into the woods a little bit and, do like a scavenger hunt kind of thing. But a lot of times we couldn't wait to get on the boat. Uncle Jack would take us, he'd say, okay, it's time for the trip around the lake. And we'd get on the boat and we'd go travel all the way around. And they had a little camper that they stayed in. I can remember, making the meals and sitting out on the picnic tables, and then being able to go down to the lake at night and, again, just hang out on the lake.
Good. When would you usually camp on Otsego Lake? Like, what time of season?
It was mostly in the summertime we went over there. What they would do is, because they shared the camp with my uncle's brother as well, he had certain days that he could be over there, weeks that he would spend. And he would invite, because I grew up in a family of 5, he would invite either 1, 2, or 3 of us to go at a time, or maybe just one at a time, and we'd go over there. And so it was usually during our summer vacation. So,
great. Where did you stay on Otsego Lake? Can you tell me a little bit more, like what the scenery was, what it was like?
Sure. If you look on the map here, it was right just past 5 Mile Point. It was near a restaurant that was pretty famous, the Hickory Grove, and it was, like I said, on that side of the lake. The scenery was beautiful. Like I said, you could look across the lake and you see the lake, and then you'd see the hillsides from the other side. You see Kingfisher Tower. You could go and see Glimmerglass, sort of, because you're sort of in the middle right there, because it's of the lake size. We were pretty much in the middle. You could see in both directions.
Great. Did you have any other family members with you at the time? If so, who?
Yeah, a lot of times we went together. Like I said, there's 5 of us in our family. So a lot of times either my older sister or my younger sister. Sometimes I went with my brother. Sometimes I just went by myself. And when I went, I have 2 cousins. One that's a little bit younger than I am, and one that was a little bit older than I was. And what was nice is that when the older cousin got married, we stayed at the camp on the lake for her rehearsal night dinner kind of thing. So.
Great. All right. Have you done anything else on Otsego Lake besides camping?
Yeah, I said with the boats, my uncle tried to get us to do water skiing. That was a lot of fun. A lot of falling down and splashing and feeling like, you drank a lot of water. But something that was really special was that he would take us to the end of the lake near the golf course, and it was very shallow there. So we'd get to a certain point, we'd get out, and he'd have us look for the golf balls that went into the lake from the golfers. So yeah, we sort of got. My cousin was big into sort of collecting, and so he wanted to collect all the golf balls. So
sounds really, really fun. All right. Do you have like a favorite historical myth or story in this area that you would like to tell us about?
Probably with the Oda Saga, right? It's at the head of the lake here. No, I didn't experience this, but I sort of have interest in the fact that sometimes they say things are haunted. And so, they say that the Oda Saga is haunted. And like, again, I haven't experienced it, but I've experienced some ghosts in my own in past in the local area. So that's intriguing to think about that maybe the Oda Saga is haunted as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about like that ghost experience when you were younger?
Yeah, the ghost experience I had was I lived with a girlfriend. We were working in a pizza shop in town, and we decided, we just got done with college, we wanted to be on our own, so her family had this old abandoned house. It wasn't really too bad, but we decided, we were independent, and we wanted to live out on our own. And so we fixed it up and stayed in there, and one night I can remember hearing a chair move in the downstairs and going down there and finding nothing, but the chair had certainly moved. So I believe that there's ghosts, but again, sometimes your imagination runs wild.
Sounds kind of scary to me. All right, as we are coming to the end of our time together, I have just 2 more questions.
Sure.
What words of wisdom or advice would you give to young people today in our community?
Well, I know that a lot of young people today think they can't wait to get out of here, but when you do get out and you experience what's out there, it's always nice to come back to, because this is really home. This is, again, where I said before, you feel safe, of good people, there's little things to do. I know that there's not a lot of big city life kind of thing, but there's pretty much good things that you can find to do here in the Cooperstown area.
All right. Is there anything else that you would like us to know about your life growing up in this community?
Well, I just think that enjoy every day, enjoy your family, be true to yourself, be kind to others, and this is a really good place to raise your children, and there's a lot of good things out there to do and experience.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing. Everybody will love your amazing stories. Thank you.
Thank